Hi, it's Simon. It's late on a Wednesday night after a very long week of rehearsals and I'm only halfway through, so I thought I'd make this video. This video will help you find some balance and focus your time and energy on what matters. So do you ever feel like you are like me? Sometimes you make your life more complicated than it needs to be? I definitely do that. So for all the talk of productive tech and self-development systems on this channel, it all really boils back to one question for me. How do we create the life we want with less effort? So in the spirit of doing that, more with less, today I thought I'd reshare 5 approaches to simplifying your life that I shared a few years ago on the channel that have proven themselves to be absolute game changers. Over to younger Simon. So here are my 5 tips for a better work-life balance and leading a more simple life. Number 1, consume content intentionally. We are all bombarded by opportunities to consume and take in new information, digital entertainment and on-the-minute news. It is perhaps the single greatest contributor to stress and anxiety in today's world. Why not ask, do you really need to know right now, as the media sentiment suggests? And are you actually making active choices about what that content is and when you consume it? Or are you just going down an unintended swipe hole? Oh, that sounds horrible, right? Building a habit to allocate specific time to read, watch and listen to things can help us be more thoughtful about what it is we listen to. Removing social media apps from your phone might mean that you just log on to check them on a desktop once a day, or turning off notifications and keeping your devices away from where you sleep might help with that too. Number 2, fewer commitments, more meaningful connections. How much of your day are you really prioritizing yourself and your time? Are you spreading yourself too thin in your relationships? I've been particularly bad at this, dividing my time too much between lots of people in different groups, rather than investing more fully in specific relationships to develop deeper and more meaningful connections. There's a saying which goes something like, we are all the protagonist in our own story. So if your life is a film, you're the protagonist. The question is, are you giving yourself enough screen time and enough kind of solo attention? What I'm getting at here is not to say that relationships and friends and all of that aren't important, but it follows that if we are intentional about reducing the number of kind of draws on our time and connections, we're able to take time and space for ourselves, just to think and work out where we're going, what we want, and kind of get a perspective on everything that's happening. Number 3, the idea of giving more than you receive, or living from abundance. Sharing and giving the things that you already have, rather than focusing on the things we don't have and that we want to get from other people. As such, our actions are more purposeful and effective. It also fits with a minimalist approach to life. Just like giving away the belongings that we no longer get value from and just clutter up our lives, we're also able to give them to others who will actually value them. We get more pleasure from giving gifts rather than receiving them, reasserting that we don't need more things to be happy. So take back some control and give more than you receive. Remember to value sleep. Getting serious about the value of sleep is one of the best priorities we can have. My friend Phil read Matthew Walker's Why We Sleep and was so struck by the impact of poor sleep on your physical and mental health that he actually couldn't sleep properly for a week. If that's not motivation to take it seriously, I don't know what is. As Walker says, if we all slept enough, our healthcare burden would plummet, we would have better mental health, our businesses would be more productive, our children smarter. Sleep is the very best health insurance policy you could ever wish for. Troubles and stresses we perceive in our work and personal life can often be a symptom of being sleep deprived or running on empty, rather than the cause of our unhappiness. Real deep sleep also helps our brains process and organise our experiences, meaning we are more equipped to clarify what is important to us and thus simplify how we focus our energy for each day. Check out Walker's book, maybe after a nap. Number 5 is declutter the thoughts that you're avoiding. Some people call this meditation, some people might call it journaling, you might just call it doing nothing. But what it is addressing the things in the background that you are at risk of not addressing. I think as humans, we have an instinct to adapt and survive. It's just built in, right? Now, if you're lucky enough, like me, not to be living in a crisis such as a war or a famine or having your way of life threatened, often that instinct translates into action which is about being happy and feeling comfortable. It's a reason that I think so many people aren't as productive and don't make as much progress in what they want to make progress in as they might otherwise do. Making real time to do nothing and just reflect can be the most difficult thing to do, because I think instinctively we know it means we have to face the difficult stuff. Try asking the same questions you would ask if you were decluttering your house. Stay with me on this. Ask yourself, what thoughts and issues in my life am I hiding away rather than sorting through them? What do I really need to be holding on to? What thoughts are bringing me anxiety or making me unhappy? What is redundant and just still hanging around? That way we can stay present and focus on the things that bring us joy. Clearing space to organise the important stuff. Now, if you found that valuable, I recommend watching this video next on how a few bits of great tech can simplify your work, or this one for the most powerful tools I've found for getting things done more easily. It would be awesome if you left a comment, amazing if you subscribe to Better Creating if you haven't. I'll see you on the next one, and I'd better get back to creating in that rehearsal room.